Since the dawn of time, one question has plagued us. What is the perfect pizza? There's endless combinations, endless companies, endless recipes, not to mention there's different styles like Chicago and whatever a Neapolitan pizza is. Well, here at Eat Your Side Quest, we've decided we're going to solve this issue by looking to the one place the experts have not looked: video games. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through these games, we're going to review them, then we're going to see what these games teach us about making the perfect pizza. And then we're going to take the wisdom imparted to us by these game developers, we're going to use that information and actually make the perfect pizza at the end of the episode. So gear up, we're going in.
Yo, April!
What it is?
Yeah,
We brought the dinner.
let's eat.
Pizza!
Yep.
Again!
Pepperoni. Please, please. A moment to reflect. Okay,
No franchise features pizza quite like the Ninja Turtles do, so we've got to start with Ninja Turtles here. And they have a lot of different games we could see guidance on. There was a couple in the 80s and 90s, they had lots of arcade beat-em-ups, and most notably I remember when I was a kid, it was called Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. And shout out if you ever made it past that sewer level. I never could. I even tried playing it on my own with like save states. I could never get past that second level. So this week though, we're gonna seek one of the newer games. A company recently brought this franchise back for video games, and they made kind of an old school style beat 'em up. It's by the same people who made the Scott Pilgrim video game. And this is really fun. It's really colorful. They took the animation from like 90s style Ninja Turtles, which is what I remember as a kid. And they created a pretty, in my opinion, true to form beat 'em up for these games. So if you've never played a beat 'em up, you just kind of move left to right, up and down, and you beat up all of the bad guys on the screen. In arcade days, these games were purposely hard in the hopes that you would get killed and need to put another quarter in. And then that difficulty was often carried over in the 90s, I feel like, for those games. This is a much kinder game. I think you can play arcade style, which is going to be ruthless, but I just played through the story mode. And honestly, thought it was really fun. The moves felt great to use. There's lots of different characters. And I just loved the ninjas are doing such adorable things in this game. When they're right before you walk up to fight them, they're often like playing Game Boys or talking on the phone or carrying lunch food or stealing tires. I loved the amount of like just spirit and spunk this game had. It did make me have several questions though about Ninja Turtles. Like, there was a lot of space stuff in this game. Like, do the Ninja Turtles go to space? And do they spend a lot of time fighting dinosaurs? Because there was a lot of Stegosaurus, like, mutant laser shooting dinosaurs. Which, rock on. I didn't know that about Ninja Turtles, that they have a lot of sci-fi elements. But rock on. Now, what is this game, though? What does it teach us about pizza? Well, the pizza presented here is very what you'd imagine 90s pizza looking like, right? It comes in kind of a flimsy box. It's on the ground. It's steaming hot. And what it does is it gives you power-ups in this game. So when you're walking around, your health's getting low, you can grab a pizza box and it'll shoot your health right back up. Which I guess teaches us that pizza should heal wounds. And maybe they're metaphorical, or maybe they're emotional. But pizza has the power to bring us together. I don't know how Betty's going to incorporate that into making the pizza, but a good pizza needs to heal wounds. Thank you, Ninja Turtles.
Let go. Let go.
Well, the next game on our list that we're going to seek pizza guidance for is an old game. It was only for Windows computers, I believe, and it was called Lego Adventure Island. So I really liked this game as a kid, and I never even played with Legos growing up, but I loved this game. And I remember it would always freeze on my computer. So no matter what I was doing in the game, I would play about 10 minutes, it would freeze. I would have to restart the whole computer, which in like the late 90s took a while. And then I'd have to restart. I'd have to reload the game, which would take a while, just to play 10 more minutes. and then it would freeze, and I would repeat this over and over again. But I really loved this game. So it's interesting going back to it as an adult. And you know what? Well, I definitely don't enjoy it as much as I did as a kid. It is lovely, like it really is. The open Lego world is so fun. It's so colorful. It's so creative. The characters have so much personality. You can see a lot of what they used in later Lego games in this original game. Particularly if you ever played Lego City Undercover, this is kind of like a first draft of that game. The reason I picked it was because I remember as a kid constantly being crushed by pizzas. And I was not wrong. I was not hallucinating my childhood memories. At one point, as Pepper the Pizza Kid, you will have to race a vehicle. And in the race course are these giant rolling pizzas that you have to dodge. So, what does this teach us about pizza? Well, it teaches us that pizza should be big and round. So I'm sorry, school cafeteria square pizza. I thought I loved you, but Lego Island has taught me different. So yeah, it teaches us that it needs to be round and big. So far we've learned pizza needs to heal wounds, and pizza needs to be big and round. All right, we'll pass those notes on to Betty and move on to the next game. All right, so the next game we're going to go to is more of a series than one game, but that's going to be Mario Party. And in my mind, there was for sure an entire pizza level board in one of the Mario parties. I remember this thing explicitly, and yet I looked for it. I looked through the wikis, I looked through actual games. This does not exist. There is no pizza board. There is like a wedding cake board at one point, and there's some other kind of food themed levels, but no pizza. So I don't know what I'm hallucinating. However, there is a pizza mini game called Eats a Pizza, in which Mario and his friends lie down on their bellies, and there's a giant pizza on the ground, and they on their bellies kind of scoot themselves forward and eat as much pizza face first as they possibly can, and at the end they see who ate the most pizza. Yeah, I mean, I love Eats a Pizza. I think they should incorporate that to the next Mario movie somehow. Would love to see that. What does Eats a Pizza teach us about pizza? Well, there's pepperoni. So pepperoni is a key ingredient. Yeah, that's all I can think of. So far we have heals wounds, we have big and round, and we have pepperoni. So we're doing great. We're doing great. So once upon a time, Domino's had a mascot. This little cartoon guy, and he wore a skin-tight, rabbit-eared bodysuit. And he had a black in inscribed on his chest. And his whole thing was, he was like this little cartoon guy. And it was to show, the joke was how hard it was to deliver pizza in 30 minutes. Well, you know what? You should look up what happened to this mascot. It ended in a hostage situation. I'll pause. You should look this up. I did not know this story. All right, did you look it up? I know. So anyway, they of course, this was the era where, companies were making video games to promote their product. So he had a game for the NES, and it was a nothing game. Like, right, it's not really worth talking about. However, a sequel was made at a game jam. Someone made a sequel to this game in a month. It's a 3D Mario 64 platformer game, and it's really great. You can download it for free. I had a lot of fun with it. It's about Yo-Noid, or Noid, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but his yo-yo gets stolen. So he ends up going into this pizza 3D platformer world to get it back. And I won't spoil the plot, but there's surprisingly interesting plot to this game, and it's surprisingly difficult. I had to look up solutions online for a couple puzzles. But this thing is really good, especially if you love old retro, like 64 era games. I had a surprising blast. I was not expecting to actually enjoy this game, if I'm being honest. But it was really, really good. So what does this teach us about pizza? Well, it teaches us it needs to have a lot of personality. It needs to not be afraid to make a mistake. So it needs to be big and round. It needs to heal wounds. It needs that pepperoni, and it needs to be bold. It needs to have no fear of falling on its face, just like Noid here. It needs to be confident. So the last game we're going to talk about is one called Pizza Tower. And I don't know how I never heard of this game. This game is amazing. Like, it is so good. If you grew up with Wario World for the Game Boy Advance games, or like classic Sonic games, this is going to be right up your alley. It's simple. It's about a man who owns a pizzeria, and he's going to the top of the tower to stop it from destroying his pizzeria. It doesn't really matter. It's fine. So what your goal is to get to like the end of each level, moving left to right, and at the end you'll smash a platform that'll finish the level for you. As you navigate the level, there's these little things called toppings, and you want to find them. They're like, a little mushroom with legs, or a little pepperoni, or cheese, and you want to try and grab them as you go through the level, because when the level finishes, you get about $10 for everyone you found, and you need the money to unlock a boss level, which will unlock the way on to the next course. It's fun. It's a lot of puzzle elements to it. There's a great learning curve on it, and they mix it up each level with different like dynamics. Like sometimes you'll be in a medieval world where you'll get a power up that's a sword. Then other times you'll get like birds. There's an alien level. This game is huge. There's a lot of secrets you can unlock. This is really good. Like, you should play if you're gonna play any game on this list. Pizza Tower is great. I feel like I compared it to other games, but I feel like going forward it'll be like games will be compared to Pizza Tower. Like, that's how good I think this game actually is. And I actually want 100. I haven't even finished it. I want 100% this one. There's just a lot to it. So yeah, I'll talk more about this game in the future. But Pizza Tower, what does Pizza Tower teach us about pizza? Pizza Tower, you know what? I think Pizza Tower teaches you that pizza it defies the lessons we've learned already. Maybe pizza can just be whatever it wants to be, right? I feel like maybe love, being cooked with love, is what Pizza Tower teaches us. That pizza needs to be made from the heart. And yeah, I think Pizza Tower, it's a message to just do your best. I don't know if that's a good message, but it's the one we're going to learn from it. All right, we're going to take all of our lessons now. So to review, we've learned pizza needs to be wound healing. It needs to be big and round with pepperoni. It needs to have some pizzazz and not to be afraid to make mistakes. And it needs to be made with love. Alrighty, let's take those over and let's go. Alright, well, we just talked about pizza in video games, so now Betty actually made real pizza. So Betty, tell us what's going on.
Well, so I tried to make the recipe of 2026. Every year, King Arthur Baking Company names a recipe the recipe of the year. And I don't know why they released it at the beginning, but whatever. So this is their recipe of the year, which is supposed to be flaky, puffy pizza crust. But I don't think my oven was hot enough because it didn't quite puff. But it still looks delicious, right?
Wait, so this is the 2026 recipe of the year?
Yes.
Ooh,
I
la
know.
la.
I know.
Ooh. Alrighty, well, can we try it?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a good texture
Mm-hmm.
and taste.
Mm.
What do you think, though?
Mm-hmm. Mm. Well, it's supposed to be a crunchy crust. This isn't crunchy.
No.
This is like soft and chewy.
It's soft.
So if you like soft and chewy, this is it.
Do you think it's the
But-
recipe's issue? Or do
No,
you think
I
it's
think
just...
my oven wasn't hot enough.
Oh, thank God.
So I want to make this again because this is delicious.
You still have some in the oven right now, don't you?
No, because it already kind of cooled. So if you did try it,
Well,
I could try it.
during...
I mean, it is like crispy on the bottom though.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah, this looks crispy.
Mhm.
Well, during our video, we discussed what video games teach us are the best things of how to make the perfect pizza, right?
Mhm.
One was round shape. So I actually specifically, in retrospect, should have done this. I called out square pizza in the video. So that's fine.
Mhm.
Hot and pepperoni. Pepperoni was one.
Mhm.
Heals wounds.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know. We'll take it to a hospital later and see what it does. Does taste good.
Feels
And-
the wounds in my heart.
Yo, boo. All right, so those are the tips that the video games gave us. What would you say if you had to give advice to any aspiring bakers who waited through however long this video was to get here? What actual advice do you have about making a perfect pizza?
Well, I mean, I've made them before, but I couldn't tell you how to replicate it. So maybe write down your recipes. But also like this,
Okay, write down your
or
recipes.
just save your recipes. Save like your
Okay.
methods. Keep track of how you do it. But the more simpler one is just find a recipe you like. If you like chewy crust, they have chewy crust. If you like tangy, spicy crusts, if you like crispy crust, there's like all these different. So just like read the recipes and like pick one you think is going to be delicious, and then make it a couple times.
So you don't necessarily think there's like a trick to it. It's just practicing it over and over again
Well,
until
I
it
mean,
turns
no,
out.
people would say there's a perfect. But like even like the people who have like the 10 5-star Michigan pizza restaurants, if they exist,
Mhm.
they have a method that they use.
Well, team, I promised you in the thumbnail we were going to use video games to find the perfect slice. And as I sit here eating a square piece of pizza, I wonder if we failed you. But the important thing is, I got to play video games, and I got to eat pizza. And so, I don't feel like this is a failure. You let us know in the comments if you feel cheated. And that way, we'll do better for you next time. So thanks for watching your side quests. We'll see you next week.